The ultimate meme deck. Legacy Leylines featuring 25 Leylines in Opalescence. Words can't describe how excited I am for today's video, so why don't we just hop on in and look at today's deck list. "25 Leylines and Opalescence." Well, what is Opalescence? It's a 4-mana enchantment for 2 white that says each non-aura enchantment you control becomes a creature with power and toughness equal to their mana value. So that means that things like Leyline of Life Force, Punishment, Combustion of the Void, etc. all become 4/4 creatures. How can we abuse this? Well, there's a card from Urza's Saga, Serra Sanctum, that taps for a white for each enchantment you control. These Leylines are free enchantments that you put into the battlefield before the game even begins. So your opponent can't counterspell them, they just go into the battlefield. That's how they work. So ideally, Serra Sanctum taps for 5 mana, 4 mana, something like that. You cast Opalescence, these all become creatures, and you attack for lethal. That's the idea. But we've got to have a backup. Well, Leyline of the Void says that your opponent's cards don't go to the graveyard, instead they get exiled. Similarly, Rest in Peace says the same thing. Well, with Helm of Obedience, this powerful combination actually decks your opponent, so it's a pretty good backup. For consistency, we have Serum Powder to allow us to mulligan aggressively, we have Crop Rotation to find the Serra Sanctum, and we have Enlightened Tutor as well. That is how this deck works. It's pretty simple, and honestly, I believe it's the ultimate meme deck. It is just a legendary deck that you've heard about at the kitchen table since you were a kid. At least I have, and today I'm playing it for the very first time ever. Not even like for fun, no practice leagues. I am so thrilled to play this deck here today. In the sideboard, I do have some anti-combo cards. It breaks my heart, but I think that they make sense in this deck. Deafening Silence, Mindbreak Trap. I know it's killing me too. I'm sorry, viewer. We have City of Solitude, so that way your opponents can't counterspell our cards. Similarly, Paladin class is a newer card that essentially, it's a white force spike almost. It says that your opponent's spells cost 1 more on your turn. So I guess it's more similar to like a mini defense grid than Force Spike, but you get the idea. And then we have Bazooka Bog for our crop rotation. That is the deck list. I hope you like it, and I hope you enjoy the video. Stick around, match number 1 is coming right up. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicswarm.com/shop, or submitting a donation deck via theepicswarm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Here we go. Match number 1, we're on the play. Legacy Leylines. I really want the turn 1 win to happen in this video. So we have Serra Sanctum. We have Leylines. This is a turn 2 win, right? 1 Leyline, 2 Leyline, 3, 4. We can play the Helm on turn 1, but we can't activate it. So I guess we keep this. If this Rest in Peace was a Leyline, this would actually be a turn 1 win. Unfortunate. Okay. Let's go. I wonder if I'm actually supposed to... no, I'm probably supposed to just play the Helm. Our opponent having a Wasteland is more likely than them having a random one of main deck Needle in their hand. Helm of Obedience. No! Why are you like this? Do you hate fun? Ah, brutal. We have to pass the turn. Blue players are literally the worst. Just looking to ruin people's day. Alright, so we need to draw an Opalescence. They suspend a Crashing Footfall. So we're facing the deck with 4 Force of Vigor in it. That is certainly not ideal. We'll play Rest in Peace. There's a lot of cards that make this deck no longer a viable strategy, but we're not looking for viable strategies today. We are looking to maximize fun. So we have... We're also facing a deck with 8 main deck forces, by the way. Force of Negation, Force of Will. They have 4 Force of Vigor in the sideboard. We need to win game 1, but we have 4 Opalescence that we're looking to draw towards, and now we have 3 more Helm of Obedience. Okay. Blue. They Petty Theft our Leyline of the Void. Sure. It looks like they're just going to pass the turn. Opalescence. Another Rest in Peace. We'll play that. They cast Ice on their own permanent. They do that because if they targeted mine, Leyline of Combustion would deal them 2 damage. Alright, so now they have 3 mana open. We'll take a draw. There's Opalescence. I doubt it resolves, but let's go for the win. Opalescence. Come on, please. Force of Negation. We have to pass. Here's a Violent Outburst. So this is going to give them 8 power. So we need to draw another Opalescence or another Helm immediately. We have 6 hits, 49 cards in our deck. Our opponent cast the Crushing Footfalls that they suspended on the first turn, and now they have lethal on their next turn. So we have exactly a 1-turn window to draw here. Draw. We didn't find it. We had 2 opportunities to win that game, but our opponent, being the 8 main deck counterspell deck, ruined our day. Okay, so now we go to sideboard. We definitely want the Paladin class. We want... I mean, Deafening Silence stops their Cascade stuff. Is that crazy to board it in? And then City of Solitude. That's 70 cards. Maybe we take out the Serum Powders and we try to be less explosive. That's 66 left. And then we can board out the Rest in Peace combo. I mean, we'll leave Leyline of the Void in the deck, but we'll board down on Helms. Basically, this combo isn't good against them, so why leave it in? Let's try this out. The one problem now is that they're a Force of Vigor deck on top of the 8 counterspells they had. Alright, so we have the City of Solitude. I'm a big fan of that. We'll keep this. Leyline of the Void. Leyline of the Void. Okay. Mana Confluence, and we'll pass the turn. No Force of Vigor yet. They're just going to pass. White mana for an Enlightened Tutor. Let's go grab a City of Solitude. We need one of these to resolve, I think, if we want to realistically win this game. City of Solitude. Come on, what's the worst that could happen if it resolved? They counterspell it. Now they have 4 cards in hand. Go to our draw step. We draw Horizon Canopy. Play the Canopy. Let's attempt another City of Solitude. Another Force. So they have Force, Pitch, Force. Okay. So on my next turn, I have Enlightened Tutor for Opalescence, so we could attack. But we have 4/4 versus the deck that makes 4/4, so I don't know how I actually feel about that. I could also just go get the Helm. They didn't fetch a green source here. I think they might have just messed up. Will I make white Enlightened Tutor? Grab Helm of Obedience. I mean, I could also just grab the Opalescence. I think Helm is safer. Because if they had an Elvish Spirit Guide and I attacked, they could get me. Are your last 2 cards Force of Vigor? I do not like these pauses our opponent is taking. Helm. Pass the turn. Hey, we got a game win. Sweet. So in order to activate the Helm, we need to pay 1. Our opponent might not know that, or they might have just admitted that they didn't have anything in hand. Whew. Okay, we stole a post-board game, which is wild against the 4 Force of Vigor deck, but I'll take it. Submit. Game 2. We have a really strong hand here. We'll keep 3 Leylines. We're going to play a turn 1 Paladin class. And then turn 2 we can crop rotation for Serra Sanctum. Alright, Paladin class. Pass the turn. I would like it if for some reason our opponent tapped out right now. And they do not. I'm going to take a random draw, because if I drew a land, it'd be very good for me. Are they going to ice my land here? What's going on? Okay, that was strange. We'll draw. We drew the Serra Sanctum. Wow. Okay, so I think I want to try to bait them here. Let's try a crop rotation. See if they'll counterspell this. And they do. They have 4 cards now. We'll play Serra Sanctum. Opalescence. Go to combat. I am the beatdown. They're at 4! Yes! And they concede! We won match 1 versus the 8 Force, 4 Force of Vigor deck. Let's go! Yes! Awesome. So excited. That made this league worth it. We're 1-0. Round 2 coming up. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. On the play for match number 2. I would love another match win. Let's go. All right, so we have Helm. We have a Serum Powder. This is a free mulligan to 7. We will Powder mulligan. Our opponent gets to know what we're playing now. Here we have a bunch of Leylines, but no Serra Sanctum. We have to mulligan. This hand doesn't do anything. So this is a Serum Powder mulligan 6. I don't understand what just happened. I clicked mulligan, and now it wants me to bottom. It doesn't make sense to me. Oh, it wants me to put a card on the bottom to keep mulliganing, so we'll do Leyline. Okay. I've never played this deck before. This is good. I just need to find Serra Sanctum. Keep. Okay. Baracus, pass the turn. Taiga. So we're facing lands, a deck with Force of Vigor in it, but no main deck interaction. So if I can find the... what is it called? Serra Sanctum. Quickly, we should be fine. Enlightened Tutor. I can get a land here. I can go get the Tree of Tales. That makes it so we can theoretically cast a Crop Rotation later. I mean, opponent facing username Bryant Cook mulligan to... I guess they kept the 7, but they kept turn 1 Sphere of Resistance. I mean, that's pretty good for them. We also have to win before their Blast Zone can get up to 4 counters. They play a Shadow Spear and they pass. Draw. A Leyline that we can't play, so we're going to pass the turn. There's a Saga, you got it. We found our Crop Rotation. So next turn, on their end step, we can go get the Serra Sanctum, and then we have 4 mana. So I'm actually 1 mana short because of the Sphere Resistance. They put a counter on Blast Zone. Urza Saga moves up to 2. Urza Saga plus Shadow Spear might actually be a problem for us. We'll sacrifice the Tree of Tales. So I think how we want to win this game is probably Helm of Obedience, but we have 2 of them exiled. So we have to get kind of lucky at this point, I think. Alright, take a draw. I needed a land there to cast the Opalescence. Looks like our opponent's going to Crop Rotation for Wasteland. Or they're going to Besage You. So I'll float 3. Oh, we don't have a type to get with Besage You. That's a failure in our deck building. Ah, that's brutal. Alright, I'm going to concede. Because if we had one, I could have cast Opalescence there. That was a blowout. Alright, game 2. So they don't have counter magic. Do I board in any of this? Paladin class slows down Force of Vigor. But, like, they could just blow up my Leylines in response to Paladin class. I think I'm going to just resubmit. On the play for game 2. Opalescence, Enlightened Tutor, no path to Serra Sanctum. I'm going to mulligan. Is this a turn 1? It is. I mean, turn 1, you know, like Opalescence. Keep and we'll bottom the Helm. Alright, no whammies. Alright, Serra Sanctum. Turn 1, Opalescence. No! Not like this! Oh, that's so brutal. Ah, what a heartbreaker. Even if I had kept the Helm wouldn't have beaten the Force of Vigor there anyway. Ah, devastating. Legacy players are no fun. Clearly no fun. I'm out here trying to Leyline people, and they do this to me. Might as well play the rest in peace. This gives us the out of drawing Helms. But I have a feeling my Serra Sanctum isn't going to live for long with this Expedition map in play. Mox Diamond. So now they can even go get a Wasteland right now with this map. They do grab Wasteland, they play it, and destroy my Serra Sanctum. What a bummer. We draw a Leyline, and we're forced to pass the turn. They play Saga into Sphere Resistance. Mana Confluence, pass. Another Saga for the opponent. I mean, I knew there was a downside to putting 25 ley lines in my deck. I never considered I would just draw them when I don't want to. Okay. Our opponent is doing the thing. They grab another Mox Diamond and another Saga. Wow. I don't have one draw that gets me out of this now. They just are representing lethal on their next turn. We got pummeled by lands. Alright. So I had the Trim Opalescence. We didn't win the game, unfortunately. Can't believe that. I'm saying those words. But we're 1-1. I'm sure we're going to win more matches. Stick around. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Match number 3, we're on the draw. I have 3 Leylines and Serra Sanctum and a Helm, but I don't have Rest in Peace. I don't have Opalescence, Leyline of the Void. I think I'm going to Powder Mulligan. So this has 5 Leylines, but ultimately isn't doing anything. I think I'm going to go to 6. This hand doesn't function, to 5. Literally no ley lines in this hand. So I think that the plan here is that you're actually supposed to get rid of Opalescence. And we're just going to play this game like it's a just Rest in Peace Helm game. I don't know what our opponent's playing. And we've opened up on 0 ley lines in our 25 ley line deck. Alright, turn 1 Fable of the Mirror Breaker. We'll draw. It's a ley line. We'll pass. They're on Painter. Okay. The Silver Lining. There's no Force of Vigors in this matchup. Another Fable. We'll draw for turn. Tree of Tales. Play Caracas. We'll take 1. Rest in Peace. Okay, so we are 1 land away from hardcasting the Helm. We don't have like an Ancient Tomb or anything with crop rotation. We don't play that card, so we don't have access to Ancient Tomb here. I think in most games, Ancient Tomb would actually be kind of terrible in our deck, but here, it would have been okay. Their Fable of the Mirror Breaker transforms into Reflection of Kiki Jiki. They attack, they get 2 treasures. They have 5 cards in hand. Magus of the Moon. That doesn't matter to me anymore. Rest in Peace is already in play. We just need 1 more mana. And to live. They have 8 power here. We're actually dead before we could even cast Helm. Or activate Helm, I should say. Okay, they make a copy, and now they get to attack for 10. All the treasures. Painter's Servant. Okay, like I said, we don't have a draw here that would win us the game. I just want to see our top card. And it's another Helm. Okay, we can now go to game number 2. Painter combo. I don't think we board. Let's just resubmit. Game number 2, we're on the play. We have Leyline of Sanctity. Not a whole lot else. We're going to Powder Mulligan. 7 Leylines. I don't think we're going to keep that one. Oh no. Come on, deck. We're going to 5. Okay. This is a reasonable 5, I think. Opalescence on the bottom and Enlightened Tutor. Opalescence. I wonder if keeping Tutor for Helm is better than the Opalescence. Probably not. Alright, we're going to keep this. A pair of ley lines enter. So we're looking to draw a land off the top for turn 2. I guess I could cast the Rest in Peace on their end step. I mean, we have a ley line in play. Magus of the Moon. That was not very kind. That's brutal. We would need to draw running lands in order to win the game, and a Helm. Our deck does not beat Magus of the Moon. Ouch. Painter's Servant. And a ley line that we can't use, pass. They attack for 3, we go to 15. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. I'm going to pick this one up. Like, we can't win the game, so I'm not going to waste my time here. We're 1-2, 2 matches left. You're still watching. Make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. Round number 4 on the play. Opalescence, crop rotation. We have one Leyline though. My fear is using a Serum Powder Mulligan and only having 2 Opalescence, but this deck needs cards in hand in order to win, so that's what I'm going to go for here. So if we Serum Powder Mulligan again, we'll have 1 Opalescence left. Okay. All Leylines. Cannot keep that. Why can't I just open up the nuts every game? Why is that so difficult? I just want to do ridiculous things with ridiculous cards, and the variance gods want to give me normal draws. It's not fair. Mulligan. Alright, so we're on 5 cards here. We should bottom Rest in Peace, Leyline. Okay. Our best draw would be another Serra Sanctum next turn. Pass. Wasteland? Why would you do that? Why would you do that, opponent? Come on. That is very cruel. We'll pass the turn. Okay, so probably Death and Taxes. We have to pass. And it is Death and Taxes. Oh, Leyline, oh, Leyline. A Flicker Wisp. Another Leyline will pass. They play a Flagstones. Thalia. I'm going to concede to Thalia here. We're not going to win. Alright, game 2. We need to roll higher. We need more busted starts. Come on, Doc. I believe in you. You're capable of this. Let's draw the nuts. Game 2. So we have everything other than a Serra Sanctum. Drawing exactly Serra Sanctum seems pretty not great. I'm going to mulligan. So here we have the crop rotation, but we don't have anything else. I'm going to go to 5. This deck sometimes. I mean, I guess we keep this bottom crop rotation, bottom... I don't even know. Enlightened Tutor? Okay. Play Caracas, pass. They play Plains and pass the turn. Leyline, we'll pass. Maybe you're just not allowed to mulligan with this deck. Maybe you have to keep every bad 7. Because, I mean, 1, I've never played this deck before. I don't actually know. I'm just, like, thinking out loud here. But you need Leylines for your Serra Sanctum. Because, like, even if I draw Serra Sanctum at this point, it's not doing a whole lot. They grab a Cauldron. I mean, I could play this out into Wasteland, but I don't really see the benefit. I'm going to just hold it. And there's a Wasteland. They target Caracas. We will crop rotation, sacrificing the Caracas. Let's grab Sanctum. They activate the Stoneforge, and now they have a Cauldron complete on the battlefield. So now they're attacking for 5. We go to 14. Enlightened Tutor. So that means that we could cast a Opalescence next turn, but we're not going to be able to raise the Cauldron. Rashawn Port is very annoying. Now they're attacking for 6. We go to 8. Alright, I'm going to go for a Hail Mary play. I'm going to Enlightened Tutor for Rest in Peace. And now they're going to tap my Sanctum. Yep. We'll play the other one. This has for 2, Rest in Peace. I guess this isn't even a Hail Mary, because if I were to draw the Helm, they have Port to tap down my Sanctum, and I'm a mana short, so they just have me. Opalescence wasn't fast enough to race there, so it just didn't matter. And I couldn't even cast it. They tap my land, and we drew Opalescence. Unfortunately, we're 1-3. I'm glad we got 1 win. I'd like to get another. Let's see if it happens in match 5. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? We've made it simple to do so by including a button to rent the entire deck at theepicstorm.com/decklist. The 5th and final match, we're on the play. Our opponent exclusively plays Alurin. So, for better or worse, we know what we're up against, and we have everything but the Serra Sanctum here. I think I'm actually going to try this. Okay, 3 Leylines onto the battlefield. Mana Confluence, pass the turn. They play Misty Rainforest. That's a turn 2 Opalescence. Let's go! Please resolve, please resolve, please resolve. Come on! No! Why is every opponent so much not fun? Alright, Opalescence to the graveyard. To be fair, we had a few matches where we drew really poorly in matches where they had low disruption, like Death and Taxes and Moonstompy. And I think if we drew better in those matches, maybe we could have gotten some wins, but we drew really poorly. Ugh. Alright. Let's draw a card using this Horizon Canopy. A Leyline. We'll pass. I guess the one bright side is I can hardcast the Leyline next turn. Is that worth dealing myself 2 damage? Who knows? Leyline of Punishment. Okay. I guess I'll play that one. We're at this stage of the game where we're hardcasting Leylines. Pass the turn. I think the opponent was attempting to intuition there, and then realized that they couldn't because I have a Leyline of Sanctity. Okay, so they end step Brainstorm instead. The opponent plays Flooded Strand, they attack for 1, I go to 15. They search out a Tundra. Here comes a Lurin. Green Sun for 3. I guess I was wrong. I mean, they're probably still playing a Lurin, but I mean, that's what they always play. Another Leyline. Okay, I mean, I probably shouldn't be casting these, but I want to, so deal with it. Alright, Leyline of Vitality. Pass the turn. They search out their 5th land, they untap. I guess the one upside to playing out the Leylines is if I do somehow resolve an Opalescence, I have more creatures in play. So that's the reason to be playing them out, I guess. Alright, they'll attack for 1, we go to 12. Rest in peace. I guess it opens up my options to drawing Helm as well to potentially win the game. We'll exile all the graveyards after their Uro has already entered. Perfect timing on that one. Leyline of Punishment. Pass. Orcish Bowmasters. That's 9 power next turn. If they have another Bowmasters, it's lethal. Alright, I go to 1. We need to draw Opalescence or Helm, and for our opponent to not have any counter magic. There's a Lurin, surprise, surprise, draw. No such luck. We have lost game number 1 to a Lurin. I think we can bring in the Paladin classes here, as well as the City of Solitudes. Board out the Serum Powders. And then we can shave a little bit on the Helm combo. We can shave 1 Helm and 2 Rest in Peace. Let's try this. On the play. So we have Paladin class, we have a couple Leylines. Unfortunately, our hand is just bottlenecked on mana. I don't think we're actually allowed to keep that. What does this do? Honestly, I'm not even sure. But I'm going to keep it. Get rid of the crop rotation. Okay, let's make some mana. Serra Sanctum, pass the turn. Misty Rainforest. So a green source off the top would be an amazing draw because we could play the city and Enlightened Tutor for Opalescence. But instead we drew crop rotation. They just play a forest. Leyline of the Void. Right on time. They search out an underground sea and cast Brainstorm. They play Delta. We draw our green source. Woot woot! City of Solitude. You will resolve. The intuition in response. They might just be dead. They could just grab 3 Allurans here and win the game. Okay, so the intuition up 3 lands. City. Enlightened Tutor. So if I get Opalescence, I'm actually 1 damage short of winning on our turn. But I still think it's the right move. We'll pass. Alright, so they probably have a Lurin. They have to win through the Leyline of Combustion, so let's see them do that. There's a Lurin. Recruiter of the Guard. That's step 1. They play another Recruiter. Sure. It is free to chain them, I suppose. Arctic Merfolk. They kick it and then return the Recruiter. Aether Channeler. Okay. And now they Cavern Harpy. So now they return the Aether Channeler, they replay that. And that's how they bounce my Leyline. Okay, so now they have the win. They've shown me that they've won the game. I'm going to concede rather than sitting here for 20 minutes while they click. Alright, so unfortunately, we went 1-4, not the result we were looking for, but we did get one glorious match versus probably our toughest matchup in the league, so funny how that worked. We beat the deck with 8 main deck Force of Will, Force of Negation, plus 4 sideboard Force of Vigor, and then lost to everything else with the biggest meme that there is, Leylines. Like, if I was trying to make this deck more competitive, I'd probably say there isn't a way to make it more competitive, if I'm being honest. The deck kind of has a lot of inherent flaws, but it's super fun to play, especially during these seasons, like right now, where they have the passes where you can play anything for $25. So in the shop, you can buy an all-access token. You can play any format, any deck you want. You have access to any card that's on Magic Online. And decks like this are super fun to play during those times. So thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. Hopefully you enjoyed the Leyline madness. As always, keep storming. If you enjoyed today's video, you might also like the Eternal Glory podcast featuring myself, Bryant Cook, alongside Bosch and Roll, Brian Cobal, Anthraben U, Phil Gallagher, as we discuss legacy concepts, theories, strategies, and so much more. We're available on all major podcast platforms, as well as YouTube. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.